Welcome to Salvador Valley, where some Irish friends are building a backpacker paradise just 2 kilometres from the best surf in Central America. We started with 3 acres of hilly farmland in 2024. Now, a jungle has been forming around us while we're building our headquarters. We're learning every day and taking you along for the ride. Hey guys, it's Q&A time. I've got all your questions written down here, so I'm just going to go through them one by one while walking around the property. Up first is, what project are you looking forward to most once we have all the basics in? So I was thinking about this, and for me it's a temescal, which is like a natural steam room where you put hot rocks into the middle of a clay built structure, and then you put water on them to release steam, and you sit in there with maybe 8 or 10 people and you sweat out all of the toxins in your body. So building something like that I think would be so cool. I'm very excited to do that, but we still have a few more basic pieces of infrastructure to put in, such as a proper place to sleep, because the teepees are running their course now. They've been a bit weathered by the sun and the rain, so we're gonna have to upgrade where we're sleeping. Next, hardest part of the project. I didn't think about this for long enough. Where do I begin? I suppose probably just managing everything, like trying to balance documentation, construction, kitchen, keeping it stocked, and volunteers, keeping them occupied, delegating tasks, just everything together at once. It was kind of a cop-out answer. So to narrow it down to one specific part, I'll just say the documentation. It's not easy, but I think we're getting better. It's just very time consuming and takes a lot of mental energy to like prepare it. How many people, guests, will the hostel be for? We've got 3 acres of land, so we can just keep building accommodation units if we see the demand for it. But because we're in quite a rural location, in order to attract people here, we have to make sure the facilities are top quality, and we're trying to curate an atmosphere and a vibe that will attract people to come. So short answer, I don't know where I'm walking right now. Right now we're building for making 12 people really comfortable on site, and that will be the core volunteer group as we go into another year of construction. And then from there, we'll probably look to jump up to maybe 30 people once we have better accommodation units and proper communal facilities. But long term, in 5 years, there could be enough beds for 60 people. I mean, if people want to sleep in hammocks, that'd be super easy in the dry season. You could have, there's not really but obviously there is an upper limit, but let's just say 50 people. Where are the other lads? So that's a good question. It's a bit of a tricky one. Initially we were supposed to be a group of 4. Things didn't quite work out with a couple of the guys for a couple of different reasons. I won't get into it too much. But right now it's myself and Charlie on site. Charlie is like not committed full-time, but he's here living full-time. He has other commitments that he's working on. And my brother Ed is currently on holidays. He'll be back in about 10 days, and we're gonna hopefully build a natural build clay building when he gets back. The bull market ending. Okay, so I'm not going to go into too much about this. I presume they mean about Bitcoin. Here's Charlie, by the way, in the hammock taking business calls. The bull market ending, I don't think you should concern yourself too much about the price of Bitcoin, because it's a long-term play. So time in the market is better than timing the market. As in, don't be a trader, just save for the future in Bitcoin and you'll be fine. How many pupusas have I eaten in a single day? Back when we had no kitchen here, I was eating pupusas pretty much every day. 5 is the best number of pupusas to get if they're the standard size. 6 is too many, 4 isn't enough. And then in a single day, I have definitely had pupusas for breakfast, lunch and dinner, which would be about 15, 16 pupusas. So yeah, glad that we have the kitchen now that I can diversify what I'm eating a bit. This ties in nicely to, is El Salvador home? So obviously Ireland will always be my home, my place of birth, where all my family are, or most of my family, and that's never going to change. But El Salvador definitely feels like home. Like, I've lived abroad in Spain, Australia, a few different places, and I definitely get a more comfortable feeling here than anywhere I've lived before. It's an amazing country, the people are amazing, and there's a lot happening here. I'm very grateful to be living here, and yeah, long may it continue. I suppose when you have a project like this ongoing, it shifts your mindset, because yeah, we've committed for at least 5 years to see if we can get this off the ground. We're a year and a half in, so that sort of adjusts your mindset. And when we're here, like, you want to achieve what you're setting out to achieve in that time frame. So getting materials to site. What are the roads like? The road is terrible, but you can get materials delivered from the hardware store for free, usually 2 days or sometimes the next day after order. Our site doesn't have a road. In the dry season, we dumped all this gravel here at a high point so that we could have it gravity on our side. Wasn't the best idea, but it wasn't the worst either. And challenges with the terrain and the foliage. Well, you can see the foliage now. I'm struggling to wade through it. So we're actually thinking about buying our neighbour's goat to give us a hand munching on all this monte, they call it here. And the terrain, yes, it's challenging. We bought a hill basically in a valley, so there's challenges just getting flat land, and there's challenges when it rains heavy. There are several streams that form, and they go directly into our exit. Our entrance is the exit for all of the water, so there's lots of challenges there. But this rainy season wasn't as bad as last year, but it will be bad again, so we have to be prepared for that. Why did the chicken cross the road? So this is a question that you hear as a child growing up. It was like very popular, and it didn't really resonate too much, because I guess where I grew up, not every house had chickens, and not every house, yeah, I mean, they would be more confined if someone did have chickens. Here, are you talking to me? Yeah. Here, every house nearly has chickens. We live in a rural area, so they all have chickens. So you actually get to know them a lot better. And like, chickens have a lot going on. Like, they might need to go to the other side of the road for any number of things. So you can't really narrow it down to one thing, unless you're talking about one specific chicken. But anyway, skills most proud of that I've learned since taking on the project. I thought about this, and the answer is very easy. It is learning how Bitcoin works, because this is the most important skill anybody could possibly learn. It makes you sovereign. It gives you total control of your finances, and you can take that anywhere in the world. And people don't realize the importance of that. Coming in here, we've got a full crew on board today because we're having an event, which is why we're doing this video in the first place. Hola, Margarita, Yanira y Naomi trabajando, y el alemán, Fabian, Charlie, Beth with the lights. ¿Qué más? The price of the hostel, I assume, and does it include food? So we will be affordable. Like, we're a backpacker destination, so it will be whatever the market rate is, maybe a bit lower to incentivize people to get over here. And we plan on having a full menu up and running where, again, it will be affordable. So like $3 for a breakfast, $4 for a dinner or lunch, something like that. Oh, sorry, I used the word dollar there. We will be pricing things in Bitcoin, so the prices may change depending on the market. If it fluctuates severely, the price could get cheaper or it could get more expensive denominated in Bitcoin, but we're just going to have to go with that, because you got to be the change that you want to see in the world. Terrible idea moments. Where do I begin? Honestly, it's hard to pinpoint. I mean, the worst idea is just sometimes doing things like digging when it's rainy season and then the trench collapses and you have to start again, or ordering materials and whoa, so that's a firework, and they use them to scare away predators from the chickens. Yeah, but ordering materials and not having a proper place to lay them down, and then you have to carry them way further than, because we don't have a vehicle on site like a quad bike to lift things up higher. So I guess just terrible ideas. I mean, everything's been able to be salvaged so far, more or less. Apart from this water tank, that was like our biggest injury, where it was set up on an unsturdy base, and then when it filled up with water, it collapsed and it has a big hole in it, and it's pretty much irreparable. Netflix series. If there was a Netflix series made about this project, what would it be called? I think Salvador Valley is a pretty cool name. And who would play who? So I was thinking about this and I never came to a conclusion. I think who would play who? Let us know in the comments. Who do you think should play who? Charlie, myself and Ed, I suppose, are the main people involved now. And your go-to meal at Salvador Valley. This is very easy. Steak on the barbecue, served with chips and salad. You cannot go wrong. Today we're serving burgers at the party, and we're going to cook all of our chips in tallow. So not very vegetarian friendly, but all of the meat is sourced locally. The tallow, we made it all yesterday from scratch, and it all comes from within a few miles of where we're located. And I think that's really important. So that's it for the Q&A, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I hope it was not too much of a ramble. And make sure you subscribe for the video next week, and it'll be what actually happens at this party, because we have no idea how many people are going to show up. We don't know. There's so many unknowns. It's going to be chaotic. But I think the most important thing is that we learn how to host an event like this, because it is our most direct way to monetizing what we've built so far. If we could have a little party once a month, and at 10 p.m. we're going to shuttle everybody to El Tunco where they can continue their night,